scared me. I thought you were out.
Go home, Sandy.
What are you doing in there? Just sitting in the dark?
Just sitting in the dark. You go home. I'll be along in a while.
What's the matter, Lee? You and Chris have another pint?
I've got some work to do, Sandy.
In the dark?
Okay?
Let's, cut out.
In a minute.
I mean all the way out. Out of Peyton Place.
What?
Now I'm restless.
Well, before, when you were restless, you cut out by yourself, remember?
I shouldn't have. This time, let's both go.
What about Chris?
Well, he'll understand.
Understand what?
Well, that we want to hit a new town. Get a new start. It'll be different. Like it was in the beginning. Remember?
Yeah.
We can go to New York or Chicago, California even. I can wait tables anywhere. And you could probably get more money in a big city.
Maybe.
But now, right now, we go home and throw our junk in a suitcase and hit the high road.
You're awfully anxious, Sandy.
Lee, I know there's something wrong. I don't care what it is. I don't want to know. Let's just get out.
What don't you want to know?
Ever since Chris came back, you're climbing all over each other. You slugged Stephen Cord at the shoreline just because he wanted to talk to Chris. And Ann Howard. Well, see, like right now. You hear her name and you go all funny looking, like you saw the end of the world coming.
You want to run away, Sandy?
I love you.
You got any reason to run away?
I know I don't always act it, but it's always there. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I don't have any reason to run away.
Don't do this to us. Don't lie to me.
We got a home here. We've got no reason to run away, so we stay. You got that?
Lee, I love you.
We stay. You and me. Got that?
Yes.
Let's go home, Sandy.
Hi.
Come in.
I'm sorry I'm late. My grandfather wanted to talk. So this is it, huh?
Yes.
It's very nice.
Thanks. Would you like something?
No, thank you.
Ralph, we're doing this for Stephen's sake. I mean, we just couldn't talk openly in your grandfather's house.
I still don't like it, Betty. Where is Stephen?
He had to take Ann Howard to Boston.
Is he working on that investigation?
No, her father's dying.
What? Betty, are you sure?
Yes, what's wrong?
You're right, I have been avoiding you. But I felt I had a pretty good reason. I heard something, Betty, something I just couldn't handle.
What?
Stephen and Ann Howard are brother and sister.
That's impossible.
I know it is.
How do you know?
Well, I overheard Stephen's mother and my grandfather. She was yelling at him.
About what?
Them.
Are you sure?
Betty, I'm sure. She was worried that Stephen might find out.
They don't even look alike. Anne's blonde and...
Stephen's dark, and I'm blonde, and my brother is darkened. Well,
They've never even met before, except...
on the bluff. That once, on Sailor's Bluff, when Chris Webber got pushed off.
This just doesn't make any sense. Why didn't you stop him?
Stop him?
Why didn't you let him know that Anne's father was his father? How could you do a thing like that?
Because that's the way it is, Betty. What am I supposed to do? Run up to him and say, sorry, Stephen, but you and Ann Howard are brother and sister. Oh, and Brian Colby's your father.
That's not the point. Lately, Stephen's thought a great deal, even more than usual, about his childhood. He's told me the helpless way it felt to be waiting for a father. Looking, always looking for someone to recognize him and take him and love him and be his father. For a while when he was growing up, he always thought that he was being judged and watched and tested. And that if he passed that test, then and only then would his father claim him, acknowledge him. But after so many years went by and no one came, Stephen began to think. He had to think. He needed to think that Martin Peyton was his father. And now that you're saying that Martin Peyton isn't his father at all, that it's a man named Brian Colby. And Stephen's on his way to see him, not knowing. Now that's the point, Rod. That's the point. What's going to happen to Stephen when he walks into that hospital room?
Boston Memorial. One moment, please.
We're here to see Mr. Colby, Mr. Brian Colby. This is his daughter.
Just a moment. Could you hurry?
And you've got to prepare yourself. You may have just a few moments with your father.
Yes, I know. Mr. Colby's daughter is here. Oh, I see. Dr. Parker asked that you'd wait a moment. Why? What's wrong? Well, I don't know that anything's wrong. The doctor simply asked that you wait.
Anne. Anne, sit down.
My father hates hospitals and medicine and rules and regulations and being alone. Well, when I was in the children's hospital all those years, he came to see me every day. Every day, even when I wouldn't talk to him. Even when I was in one of my states. We should have brought some flowers. He loves flowers. You'll be surprised when you see him. He looks like such a rough man, but he really isn't. You know, in all those years, of all the problems and pain I brought him, he only wanted one thing of me. A grandson. I used to tease him. And ask him if he wished I'd been a boy. How he longed for a grandson. That's all he wanted. I promised him I'd give him 5. You know.
Miss Howard,
Yes?
I'm Dr. Parker.
May I see my father, please?
I'm very sorry. Your father's dead. We did everything we could for him. He felt no pain.
Listen, I'm going to take off.
Rod, please stay.
You're not going to hear anything. When Stephen and Ann get back from Boston, well, you'll know what happened. You'll just have to tell me tomorrow morning at work.
You're acting as if your coming here was wrong. As if it had something to do with Stephen and me, with you and me.
Oh?
Why are you deliberately misinterpreting things?
What are you getting so angry about?
Hello. Oh, hello, Stephen.
You sound strange.
No, I'm fine. Did you see Mr. Colby? Did you talk to him?
Well, he died before we had a chance to see him. It's been quite an ordeal for Anne.
We'll drive back tonight, but it might be quite late.
I'll wait for you.
Are you sure you're all right?
Positive. See you.
Love you.
Love you. Brian Colby died before they could talk to him.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I should have told him. The minute I found out that he and Ann were sister and brother, I should have told him.
I had no idea Brian Colby was dying.
Are you going to tell Stephen?
No. It's still an instinct, just a feeling. And I'm not going to tell him.
It's not going to be easy for you, Betty. Facing him, knowing this.
Rod, I'm going to Mrs. Cord. And I'm going to force her to tell me the whole truth.
What makes you think she'll tell you? She won't even tell her own son. See you later.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
Wake up, Smudge. Rod's a man.
And I'm a woman.
Meaning what?
Stop it. Why don't you stop it? You're torturing her.
Betty!
Is it really necessary to go through this tonight, Stephen?
Tell him I came to discuss Ann Howard. Ann Howard and my wife's portrait.